Welcome to the famous salt flats of Lake Gairdener. And over the next few days, we'll be meeting some of Australia's craziest land speed racers, including the man with the fastest Kenworth in the country. This is Speed Week.
I just say to people, you've got to come and experience it.
Salt. It's one of the most important minerals on Earth, but would you risk your life to find it? Certain people will if it's the kind available in the remote corner of South Australia, where the ancient Lake Gairdener meets the foothills of the Gawler Ranges. Here, nature has done its work. Thousands of years of baking sun sucking almost all life and moisture from the Earth's surface, replacing its contents with a bed of hard, crystallised salt. This is the salt people will risk it all for. At 160 kilometres long and nearly 50 kilometres wide, the dried out salt flats of Lake Gairdener present the perfect opportunity to go fast, luring in the adrenaline-craved racing teams from around the world. They call it the Great White Dino. And despite its bareness, this Martian landscape has come alive. Welcome to Speed Week.
We've been here a couple of weeks already. We were here last year before they rained it out. As a matter of fact, Gary was here longer, but I flew in on Saturday, and on Sunday they canceled the event. The salt here and other than it's so damn hot, it's ideal. But I guess, if it wasn't quite this extreme, then we'd be bugged by flies, right? I've been blown away by the Aussie hospitality from everybody. Everybody's just been so nice. And it's kind of the same way in the States. You get out of a city, everybody's friendly kind of a deal,
The salt flats here are better than the iconic Bonneville Speedway in Utah or the Bolivian salt flats. And the American man is one of many dry lake racers who have made this Burke and Wills-like journey to Lake Gairdener for Speed Week. And for the next 7 days, we'll endeavour to test their nerve and their mechanical prowess and search for an elusive speed record on the near-endless white runway. But I've come searching for one vehicle in particular, not the vintage Triumph motorcycles or the belly tank racers built from old World War II aircraft, and not even the Holden Commodore looking to crack 300 miles an hour. I'm looking for the fastest truck in the country, a W-Series Kenworth known as the Prospector. It's not hard to find a bright yellow Kenworth W-Series parked on the pure white salt of Lake Gairdener. Owner Rob Waters is self-admittedly the kind of truck savant who could tell you what model and make was coming up the road while blindfolded, so turning mad scientist on this truck doesn't surprise me in the slightest. You'd be correct in thinking this isn't your standard W-Series. It's had a serious nip and tuck. For start, its top speed is now 142 miles an hour and holds the Australian modified diesel record. Its engine, a Caterpillar C13, was plucked from an old dump truck and tuned to make nearly 1,500 horsepower. It's 9 metres long thanks to a custom-raked chassis and an extended fiberglass bonnet, and it has a chrome beer keg at the end that sits as its fuel tank. More impressively, this whole truck was completed in just 5 months.
You've heard something in your backyard to how you think's right. For all transport related, I guess. Kenworth's in our blood, transport's in our bragging. This is the end result of having good fun on the weekend. There it is, or for a week actually. So that's why we're here. It's probably hard to say, but I'm the lucky bugger that gets to drive it. So unless you're in the seat beside me, the feeling you get out there of building something, and it's pretty cool. What it is out here is the respect for everyone that comes out, because albeit that we're trucks, the bike guys, the car guys, and everything in between. So everyone's got a vision of, everyone wants to be a Burt Munro and everyone wants that challenge. And I think that's what it is. It's driving out here for 2,500 kilometres. It's the dirt roads. It's all that stuff to get here to see something and experience something that is different. And there's nowhere else other than really America. But this salt is probably the best in the world here.
Feels better than me Fairfin at that speed, I'll tell you right now. It's not too bad.
It's a Mercedes chassis. Yeah. No, that way you get 1:1 diff ratio by locking up with plan freeze.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll never get a deal all on it.
It's your crazy idea too.
I bought it line up off Smurf. He had it before. And so we totally started again, and the motor, only thing we'd use of the motor was the block. Everything else was new.
No. Oh, yeah, it's a 71 International cab.
But that's right.
51, sorry. Yeah, 51.
1951. And it's a 1271 Detroit two-stroke. I used to race motorbikes right up till 3 years ago before this. It's a lot easier to get motorbikes here than this bloody setup. These last few days are pretty cool, really. It gets in the 40s. You have blokes on the line on motorbikes dropping. You usually hold an umbrella, but it gets bloody hot.
How long have you been doing the thing?
Years, this is
Can see your 16th time here.
yeah.
I don't think Mark and Tom would be offended if I described their International as dystopian. The matte black paint job is menacing, and the silver rivets are its only bling. It's even mockingly called climate change, and fittingly, I'm sure you could convince someone it had been in the last Mad Max film.
I don't know what was going on, but it was started doing that. It was really weird. Never had that.
You didn't have that on the first run?
Nope. Never had it on the 20 odd runs I've had before. Yeah. It's really unusual. I'm going to check something there. It's the only thing it could probably do though is if diff lock's not working or axle lock's not working. That was I buttoned off and then went and jumped back on again, dropped it down again and jumped back on again. That's why you would have said it's the fire go out and then it took off again. Yeah. Trying to have a bit of a look to see what's
And what do you do from here now, mate, over the next couple of hours?
So we'll just have a bit of a look. We'll plug in and do what we're going to do. And
Dry Lake Racing is one of the last bastions for amateur motorsport. Rob and the Prospector are perfect examples. Everything they need is packed up onto the back of their truck and driven across the country. I'm told it's like anything you love. Once it gets into your blood, it's hard to get out.
Rob and the Prospector were first at the start line the following morning. How is it that I'm nervous for them? Is it because I've gotten to know them over the last 3 days, or am I just chicken shit? The prospect of holding on for dear life on the hunt for 140 miles an hour just doesn't quite compute in my brain.
1979, bright yellow Kenworth. Can't miss this thing coming down the track.
it went good. We got back what we lost yesterday, so we're in the zone of where it needs to be or where it's doing what it does. So yeah, so we dropped a lot of MPH yesterday and don't know why, and I think we know why because you'll see the black marks on the salt there where we're checking to see if diff lock's in. So we think yesterday diff lock was out, so we were running around on one drive wheel. So it's good to get back what you lost for starters. And the thing steers as straight as an arrow. So yesterday it was a handful. It's never been a handful in its life. And the reason being is that one drive wheel's trying to spear it off the track, and I've just gone, why is it driving like this? It's not. That's completely wrong. So.
The smell of race fuel fills your nostrils. Engines rev and roar around the clock, and the sun scorches all life as it bounces off the salt like a mirror. Everywhere you turn, another eccentric character to capture, another out-of-this-world vehicle to frame up, all disconnected from the outside world. Have I stumbled across some sort of commune? Burning Man festival, but for the octane addicted?
It's different. You want to tell people, but you don't want to tell people. So it's a bit of a treasure that hasn't been discovered, I think, sometimes, and I think that's what makes it easier being out here. I reckon that's what puts you, because you can go on holidays, you can do all sorts of things. It doesn't give you what this does. I think at the end of the day, a bit of solace, and I think that's the thing, because it's completeness. There's nothing else left on the table here. There's no, oh damn, I've got to come back next week and try again. I've got to do this. It's just a whole pile of everything that comes together. I reckon the day we leave, when we leave, it's like finding the last bit of jigsaw puzzle that just goes into this map you got, and then you just go, that's it. I found it, I've squared it off, we're off.
The reason this yellow W model is named the Prospector may hold the answers I've been looking for. It's a tip of the hat to the iconic gold nugget Kenworth. Then there's the link between the Perth and Kalgoorlie train, which runs daily both ways, called the Prospector, and looks like the truck. For Rob, perhaps he's the prospector, looking for that gold. Or maybe looking for that golden run.